It was a day like no other at the Grand Concert Hall. World-renowned pianist Victor Hellberg, known for his precision and flawless performances, casually leaned against the edge of the gleaming grand piano during a rehearsal. His eyes caught a small figure sitting quietly in the corner, a boy with worn shoes, humble clothes, and a cane in his hand. Hellberg smiled, partly out of curiosity, partly in amusement. "Why don't you come over and play something?" "Just for fun," he said. That the room erupted in whispers and laughter. A blind black boy. Play here. No one took him seriously. Yet, something in Hellberg's tone suggested he wanted to see what might emerge. Before we dive further into his story, comment below with your city or country. Let's see how far this tale can travel. This story isn't just about music. It will challenge assumptions and reveal a hidden brilliance the world had overlooked. The hall was breathtaking. Towering ceilings reflected soft light. Golden chandeliers hung like suspended constellations, and the polished floors mirrored every movement. At its center stood the grand piano, gleaming under the spotlight, each detail whispering the prestige of the musicians who had performed there. In the corner, the boy seemed almost out of place. Blind, black, and dressed in humble clothing, his presence contrasted sharply with the elegance surrounding him. His shoes were worn, his fingers calloused, his posture modest. Despite the grandeur, he remained unnoticed. A quiet observer of the rehearsals, listening intently to every note that floated through the hall. He clutched his cane, rocking slightly. There was nervousness in the way he shifted and fidgeted. Yet his eyes, well, not his eyes, but his awareness absorbed every sound like a sponge. Waiting for the right moment to reveal himself, during a brief intermission, Hellberg's gaze returned to the boy. Curiosity sparked as he approached. "Why don't you play? Just for fun," he repeated, with a casual chuckle. The room's reaction was immediate. Some laughed outright, others whispered disbelief. "The boy. Play here," murmured one of the young performers. Hellberg hadn't meant harm, yet the joke carried the weight of doubt. The boy, however, simply nodded, understanding the challenge in silence. For a moment, he hesitated. The entire room seemed to hold its breath. Every eye on him felt like a heavy weight, questioning his ability. Slowly, he rose, gripping his cane. Each step toward the piano was measured and deliberate. The air thick with anticipation, the polished instrument loomed before him. He paused, placing his hand over the keys. The first touch was delicate, cautious, uncertain, almost as if testing the waters before diving into the unknown. Then came the first notes. Fragile, soft, tentative, but they quickly transformed. The music was no longer simple. It was rich, emotional, and layered. The room leaned in, hypnotized. Hellberg's smirk vanished, replaced by genuine attention. The boy didn't just play the music. He told a story. Classical passages merged seamlessly with jazz improvisations, each transition unexpected yet perfect. The audience was drawn in, transported by the depth of his performance. How had he learned such mastery? The boy had never had formal lessons. Every skill, every melody, every nuance came from listening. He absorbed music from recordings, church hymns, and performances around him, memorizing hundreds of pieces by ear. Yet memorization alone did not define him. He created bridges, variations, and original riffs flowed naturally from his fingers. Every chord, every pause, every shift was a deliberate choice, a new expression. He did not mimic, he innovated as the performance continued. The music swelled into a crescendo of sorrow, joy, longing, and triumph. The hall seemed to vibrate with the resonance of each note. There was no applause yet, only the pure echo of his mastery. Hellberg's face transformed in real time. Disbelief gave way to wonder. And finally, reverence. Every listener was held captive, mesmerized by the boy's unexpected brilliance. When the final note finally faded, silence lingered like a held breath. Then Hellberg rose, clapping slowly at first, then faster, until the entire hall erupted in a standing ovation. Judges, assistants, musicians, some wiping tears joined in, acknowledging the extraordinary moment they had just witnessed. Helberg approached the boy, his voice choked with emotion. That was brilliant. The boy tilted his head slightly. It's just what I hear, he said, modest and unassuming. Judges and organizers, bound by strict rules, whispered among themselves. Walk-ons were technically forbidden, yet they could not ignore the extraordinary talent they had just seen. After a brief discussion, they made an exception. The boy was accepted into the final round of the international competition, not as a charity case or novelty, but as a genuine contender. The assumptions that had filled the room about race, poverty, disability, and talent began to crumble. In the final round, he did not merely play. He conquered. Each note displayed his technical prowess and emotional depth. The audience erupted in extended standing ovations. And the headlines followed. Blind Black Boy redefines music. Unexpected genius astonishes world. Scholarships and mentorships poured in, opening doors that had previously seemed closed. Life changed dramatically, yet the boy remained the same at heart. He continued to play with the same passion, the same purity of intent, focusing on the music rather than the fame. His story carried a powerful message. Talent transcends privilege, skin color, and physical limitations. He played not just for applause, but to remind the world of hidden brilliance, the kind that exists quietly in unseen corners, waiting for a chance to shine. The core lesson is simple. True brilliance often lives where no one is looking. Every person we overlook, every voice we dismiss, could hold untold talent and insight. By opening our hearts and minds, we allow these hidden gifts to emerge. If you were moved by this story, like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring tales. Comment below. Where are you watching from? And what surprised you most in this story? Remember, talent can come from anywhere, and the world is richer when we take the time to listen.